Okay, so it probably goes without saying how incredibly special it is to do a video with this guitar. So this is Dan Huff's 1964 Strat that we have all heard on pretty much everything he played throughout the 80s, a bunch of stuff in the 90s in Nashville, but Dan has said in interviews that this was what he used for 95% of the recordings that he did, and man, I can't thank him enough for letting me borrow this guitar for 80s Week. So if you don't know, me and Dan started a YouTube channel together, which I will link down below, so make sure you go check that out. I mean, Dan is a wealth of knowledge. He's become such a good friend of mine, and it's funny, we know each other, pretty well now, and like I said, I consider him a friend. I was still nervous to ask this. I was like, is there any chance you'd ever let me do a video on this guitar? I mean, I've done it with him playing it. I'm like, but I would love to write a piece of music with this thing and give you guys close-ups kind of like that aren't out there. There aren't a lot of deep dives on this guitar, and it's such an important guitar. So we're gonna deep dive into all of this stuff. Thank you so much, Dan, for letting me borrow your guitar. And if you want to support this channel, do me a favor, check out my brand new course, Ultimate 80s Shred Licks. It's on sale for launch week, 70% off. I will link that down below as well. You can enter the giveaway I have for it. We're giving away 2 guitars. And let's dive on in on Dan's 64 Strat. I mean, is that not the sound? Maybe a little more preamp in there. Oh, it's right there, right? Is that not the sound? So here's the deal. We're gonna go through different tones. I'm gonna give you guys some schmoozy tones, some tones that just have reverb, it's clean, the harder rock stuff. Some of the things I'm noticing about this guitar is it is such a big sounding Strat. It's pretty dark. It's not that over the top, kind of thin snappiness that some Strats have. This is a very dark sounding Strat. All right, we're going full nerd mode. Now, thankfully, my buddy Rich over at Tyler Guitars, I called him up and I was like, hey, I've got Dan's guitar. Can you tell me what it does? Because it looks like a lot, but I've got to agree with Rich. He said, you just need a run through. Once you have the run through, you're good to go, and it all makes a lot of sense. So, on Dan's guitar, you've got hot stacks here in the single coils, and then a JB, which it's funny because I've always called the JB a Jeff Beck, and I know people get so upset about that. I think it's jazz blues, but just everyone I was around growing up called it the Jeff Beck pickup. Now, Dan's obviously used to have a Floyd on it, so it originally had the normal Strat trim, then he went to a Floyd, and then he has a Wilkinson terminal in here. Now, if you look at the back of the neck, you can see where they had to plug the holes for the Floyd Rose locking nut. So I love seeing stuff like that. You can see that the tuning pegs have been changed. These are locking tuners, but you can see the old vintage style ones that were put in there at one point. Back plate is gone. This has all definitely been changed, the Wilkinson block that's in there. And if you look up here, you can see, and my buddy Adam pointed this out to me, and I thought that was really interesting. Whenever they put the nut on here, the Floyd Rose nut, and when they took it off, they actually have to take all this wood off the fretboard right here. I'll give you guys close-ups of it. So you can see someone had to go back in and rebuild this little piece back here so they could put a normal nut back on the guitar. So those are the little things I love seeing in these guitars that just make them so cool. And the first thing I ever noticed when I went over to Dan's and I played the guitar for the first time, I was like, oh, you radius the fretboard. because it's really flat. Not like crazy flat, but if you've played like a 63, 64 Strat, it's not that vintage round radius because you can kind of feel the fretboard under your fingers. This is very flat. So another mod that has been done to this guitar that makes it just kind of play faster. I don't know if it's been refretted. I mean, I'm assuming, actually, yes, it looks like it has been refretted. It's probably been refretted a bunch. You can see right here where to get to the neck adjustment, like most of us did, you just wedge a screwdriver in there, and that way you don't have to take the neck off each time. So the way these switches work, you have 3 switches right here, and this is a normal 5-way. So this is just doing exactly what you think a 5-way switch does. These, when they are in the down position, they are in series, and when they're up, they are in parallel. Now, all you have to do is think 1 switch per pickup. So this switch goes to your neck pickup, this switch goes to the middle, and then this one goes to the bridge. So if you have it down, neck position, this is series. Up is parallel. You can hear the difference, right? Sorry, I know this camera over here is a little bit glary. I'm trying to hold the guitar so it doesn't do that. You can do that with all the pickups. So I could go to position 4 and have this one series and then this one series, that one parallel. Or I could have them both in parallel. You can go to the humbucker and then have it in full humbucker mode. Or split it. Well, not split it, it puts it in parallel. There's a difference. Everybody corrects me. Before it was in series. Parallel, series. Now, here's a couple of the hidden tricks that are inside of this. Now, the tone knob, when it is pushed up like this tone, I am bypassing the preamp. So the preamp is not engaged at this point. If I push it down, now the preamp is engaged. Listen to the sweep. That might be clipping. I mean, it puts a nice boost on there. And when I get to distortion, you will see how cool that is. It makes these notes just feed forever. It's so cool. Now, the other trick is this other tone knob. Now, it is, when you spin it, just a normal tone knob on the guitar. What you do when you go like this is it puts the neck pickup in any combination. So I liked using the bridge humbucker in parallel, so it kind of thins it out a little bit, and then I would add the neck pickup, and that was a lot of those shmooey tones, or I would go to position 2, which then essentially has all 3 pickups on. So if I do that like this, check it out. Here it is with just the humbucker. Well, that's in parallel, but let me add the neck. I'm a little bit out of tune. And if anybody's wondering, these are all just presets I have made on my Axe FX. So they're nothing like crazy. I don't know how you'd get them, but oh, there it is. Okay, now listen. Just the bridge pickup in parallel. Add the neck. It just kind of like comes alive, doesn't it? Now I could add more preamp if I wanted. The neck pickup in series instead of parallel. There's a whole nother sound to it. So now I've got the bridge in parallel and then this in series. And I think that's what I did for the no, this was in parallel. Can't remember what I did. Something like that. For the intro. It just sounds so good. So let me hit you guys with some distortion tones. And, you know, I feel bad. I want to get the guitar back to Dan as soon as possible, but I'm like, I gotta make a video on it. So anyways, here's the distorted tones. And one thing I will say that I found really interesting before we move on was typically I use these blue chip picks, and I throw them on the floor. They sounded way too dark. I think part of getting that 80s sound was I went back to using these thinner Fender picks. Because listen to the difference it makes, even with all the effects and everything I have going on. Now here's the blue chip. It's like it's so rounded. The thin pick was like a medium. There's like this little chirp and chime to it. The pick is so important in that. So anyways, here's the distorted sounds. Okay, so again, this guitar just sounds massive. It's such a, I mean, it's a big sound anyways. But, and that's full humbucker mode on here. When you have the preamp engaged and you just dime it out, it gives you almost like this sustainer-like sound. Like, I mean, that's what I did on that one part. You just hold the note forever. I mean, look, it's so cool. And then... And that was kind of a cool thing when I was writing the song. I was like, how do I want that note to dive down, but I need to switch to the neck pickup pretty much right away. So I had to kind of do a little, almost like a Joe Satriani move or something. So, and then you have the neck pickup, which I have in parallel right now, and I just kind of rolled the preamp down a little bit. Some kind of fast run. I don't remember exactly what he did. But, oh, it's such a cool sound. And then you just take that off. Alright gang, so how is that for a guitar on 80s week? Probably one of the most important guitars of the 80s. Used on all the Giant stuff. Used on, like I said, 95% of the stuff Dan played on in the 80s. Used a bunch here in Nashville in the 90s as well. Just such an important instrument. I feel extremely privileged to get to borrow it and play it and write a piece of music with it. This thing has mojo in it. As soon as I plugged it in, like the song was just rolling. I'm like, oh, okay, hit record right now. So Dan, if you happen to see this, thank you so much for letting me borrow this. I have taken absolute, you know, extreme measures to make sure that nothing happens to this guitar. And like I said before, do me a huge favor, go subscribe to the channel that me and Dan started together. And if you guys would, check out my new course. It's the biggest way to support this channel. It's on sale for launch week, and I appreciate all you guys. All right, have a good rest of your week. More videos coming at you. 80s week is in full swing, and I will see you all later. Bye, homies.